Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ron, and today I would like to talk about Subnautica. I had never played the Subnautica games before this, but I had at least seen them before in the past, specifically from my brother who had played the very first Subnautica as soon as it came out, so I seen it in the very early stages and a little bit from that. So starting out the game, you are on a ship that is crashing into an alien planet. Great place to start, like always. And we crash there with just our life pod. And we don't really have much to use. We've got some med kits, some water, some food, basic things that can kind of keep us surviving. As well as we also have a fabricator, which is a very important component that we're going to be using throughout the entire game. This lets you craft most things in the game that you don't need to craft another station from. So right away you must collect materials and scavenge around to get everything that you might need to survive. You have a limited oxygen tank as of right now, but you will be able to upgrade that in the future so that you have more oxygen, so you will have to go to the surface less. You can get any of the alien wildlife, or most of the alien wildlife, and cook and eat them, either through the fabricator or once you have the fire knife. The starting area I really like. It's very calm, it's very shallow water, so it's very easy to swim around in, find all the stuff that you might need, get some titanium, get some copper, collect whatever fish you need to eat, get some seaweed so that you can make some other things, build some of your tools up, and then you can repair your escape pod. That way you have a fully functioning escape pod, so you have some place to kind of call home. This eventually won't be enough for you though, and you will need to make a larger base at some point. You can of course make tons of bases in this game. When I was streaming through this, some people were saying that they had a base in every biome, which was really awesome. But to do this, you need a few tools to make first. Once you have those tools, you can then start building your base. You can then add onto your base by adding new structures, but you got to make sure that your base isn't getting too big, because if it's getting too big, then it starts to structurally fail, which I was not aware of the very first time I played this, and my very first base was filled up with water until I realized that was the problem. I was going around trying to fix it, and it wasn't really working out. You also need transportation in this game, so you'll start off finding something like the Sea Glide. Sea Glide is just a self-propelled sea glide jet thing. I don't know exactly what to call it. Maybe they are called Sea Glides in real life. I'm not a diver. But you take this and then you can at least go a little bit faster. You can go a little bit further. You're not going to get attacked by any of the random locals here. In the starting area, you really don't have to worry about getting attacked. There's only a couple of things that can actually hurt you in this starting area. There's the manatee-like creatures that can potentially sort of harm you, but are generally peaceful. It's only once they get scared as to when they release some sort of noxious gas or something that deals damage to you. There is also the stalkers, which are more aggressive and will actively try to attack you, but they don't do very much damage, so you can usually get away from them, and if you smack them with something, then they tend to go away. And there is also the crash fish, which can explode and deal high damage to you. You don't want to be too close to these things. So once you have some of the basics down, you can go and start looking for more rare materials. You might find some sandstone, you might find some gold, some silver, you might be looking in other biomes, and you might be able to scan different things. The more things that you scan, the more information you get. There's a large list of things that you can scan. You can also learn about them once you've scanned it. Eventually, you'll start getting radio signals, and you'll be able to locate them from inside your escape pod, or if you put a radio station inside your home, you can then get random signals. These will lead you to different crash sites. Once you go to these different crash sites, they will be at a certain depth below the surface. Sometimes you can free dive right down to them with something like the Sea Glide, maybe a bigger tank, or maybe the rebreather once you get a hold of that. Other times you might need some more heavy-duty equipment, which is where the vehicles come in. You have multiple vehicles you can choose from, and I think that they were all very unique and very fun to play with. We had the Sea Moth, which was one of our first ones. This is more of your straightforward small submarine. It moves really fast, but it can't go super deep. So you are restricted to a certain area, as well as it's pretty easy to damage, and it can suck through batteries pretty fast. So you're going to maybe need a recharging station so that you can put those batteries back in there, get some more value out of it. But then the more you're able to explore, the more you're able to do, you can find parts of the Cyclops. And the Cyclops is this massive submarine that you can build, which is really awesome. I really love the Cyclops. I made it into my own home and just made it as a mobile base, which I quickly realized maybe wasn't the smartest idea in the world, because as people of the stream told me, it can be destroyed and you can lose everything that's on it. Luckily, that never happened to me. It almost happened multiple times, but it never fully happened to me, which was great. The Cyclops is quite a bit different than the Sea Moth. It's far larger, far more difficult to actually control this thing because it takes up so much more room. You have multiple cameras on there so you can look around and see your environment, which is pretty cool. You can also store tons of stuff inside of it, and you can even build inside of it. You can build gardens, you can build aquariums, you can build tons of extra storage space in there. Don't build a battery charger in there. It doesn't work. It'll just suck more of your power out, and it's kind of weird the way that it works. I'm not sure why you're not allowed to put solar panels on it or something, but not a thing you can do. And this thing can go to the very deepest parts of this game. So if you wish to take the Cyclops down there, you can. Other kind of upsides of the Cyclops are that it's very protective. If anything large comes near you, really anything, it's not going to be able to one-shot the Cyclops. Even less so if you have the shields on there. Downside of using the shields is that it sucks through your batteries super fast, and you do not want to be dead in the water in a very scary place. You will also need to worry about your power if you're going to these very deep places, because that's the last place where you want to just have a dead ship. So you can build upgrades. You can have a thermal generator in there where it will build up more power the closer it is to heat. Also, being this large makes it very easy to attract potential predators, and there are some very scary predators in this game. First one that you're probably going to meet is the Reaper Leviathan, who is very well known at this point and very scary. This thing can grab your ship and take you away. It can even take your prawn suit away, especially if you hop out of it like I did. I didn't lose the prawn suit, but I needed to go get it back. Prawn suit is also another awesome vehicle in this game, essentially a mech suit that can be customized. You can get to certain materials, you can go much further, you can have different arms attached to it, so you can grapple hook around like Spider-Man underwater. One of the first places you're probably going to go to explore is likely the Aurora. This is the ship that you crashed here on. This is where a lot of supplies are. You can get food, you can get water, you can get a lot of batteries here, and just around the surrounding area. There's tons of scrap in the area. There is a couple of problems here, though. It's not super accessible unless you have certain tools like a laser cutter, so you might need to get that ahead of time. You also just can't get into the Aurora if you don't have the radiation suit, because the radioactive power plant inside of it has now ruptured and is leaking. So you need protection to get in there. Once you seal that up, though, inside, then you don't have to worry about it. But also around the Aurora is where one of these big Reaper Leviathans tends to hang out. It's kind of scary. You don't want to get grabbed by it. It does a lot of damage. Sometimes they follow you for a very long time if they really want to kill you, which is not always the most fun thing to deal with. Another place that you're likely going to visit very soon is one of the islands on this planet. There are 2 major islands that you can go on and explore around. They have their own plants, their own biomes, various things that you can also scan. You can get some of the food there and bring it in and put it on a garden, whether it be inside your house or inside your Cyclops, whatever it might be. But there is also this giant alien structure on one, and you get a call saying that this is the place where you need to go to be picked up from this planet. The main problem, though, is that when the ship comes there to pick you up, this giant alien structure blows it up entirely. It just completely destroys it, throwing pieces everywhere. And you can also now get into the actual alien ship itself. And there's a lot of really cool stuff on the island that has the alien base. There's tons of unique materials, so you can get a lot of gold, you can get a lot of diamonds, a lot of silver, a lot of lithium, all these great materials that you really need to get some of the better stuff in the game. Once you get inside of the alien facility, you'll notice that there is multiple alien artifacts around, which you can scan and kind of learn about. There is also an alien computer there, which is the override, so you can override the defense system from this planet so that you can potentially escape. Somebody can come and get you, or you can send yourself out into space. The main problem is, at this point, you find out that you're infected, and that the entire planet is infected by something, some sort of bacteria. You also start getting messages in your head now from a psychic being called the Sea Emperor. She is calling out to you, she wants you to find her, but she is at the very deepest parts of this planet. So in order for you to actually get to that deep part of the planet, you must start collecting a bunch of resources. You have to go deeper, you have to get more stuff, you have to upgrade your vehicles, you have to upgrade your prawn suit, or you have to upgrade your Cyclops. I think you actually need the prawn suit entirely upgraded to get all the way down there. Now, the problem with going deeper is that there's even scarier things that are deeper. You remember the Reaper Leviathan, how he was terrifying? Yeah, there's another one down there. This one is the Ghost Reaper Leviathan, I believe, or the Ghost Leviathan. And this one's even bigger, potentially even more aggressive. He's down there, but he's not even at the bottom. So you have to get through this whole area of that part, and you're probably going to need to go down there and collect a bunch of stuff anyway, and then go back up to build more things to your ships so that they can actually go down deeper. You also have to be worried about food, water, everything like that, so you have to prepare ahead of time. Make sure that you've got enough space, enough storage, enough things on your ship or in your bases, wherever you're building them, so that you can have convenient refilling stations, or that you can do the entire trip in one go, because having to stop and go all the way back is going to take even more time. Then you go down even deeper to the volcano area, the magma area, where there is just fire everywhere, and these cool blue crystals that you need to upgrade like the depth suits all the way. And then you find probably the most terrifying thing, at least to me, when I was playing through this, and that is the dragons. There is dragons on this planet. In the Lost Lake, the place that you found the Ghost Leviathan, you could find a skull there that was called an ancient dragon skull. And when I first found this, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was just another thing that you could potentially find. But yeah, it turns out they're real. They're still real and very much alive. So you have to go through the dragons area. You have to get into a hidden alien area that's inside of what's called the castle. The castle looks like kind of like a castle, a big dungeon type area that's just somewhere down there. And then you have to go even further down there once you've pieced together all this alien technology so that you can get to the very bottom, which is the Alien Research Center. This is where the aliens that you've kind of seen the remnants of and kind of seen some of the past things that have happened to them. This is where they were doing research, and they were trying to figure out a cure for the bacteria that is infecting you. This is also where you meet the Sea Emperor, who is more than willing to help you. What she wants is for her kids to be hatched. That's it. You have to get all these materials so then you can take this back to your ship or back to a fabricator, wherever you've put it, so that you can then create this incubation formula. Once you put it in, then her children can hatch. You then help her hatch her children, and her children go through one of the teleporters that you've been going through this time. So you're back to the main alien facility, or very close to it, and the children produce some sort of chemical. This chemical is the cure for the bacteria. So you put this on you, it cures your bacteria, and then you can actually go into the alien fortress, turn off all the defense systems, and then you come to the final part of the game, which is putting together your rocket ship. If you have explored the Aurora, you can find the launch platform blueprint so that you can start building that. Then you have to build the rocket, and all of the stuff that you need is fairly high-level stuff, but you might have it at this point. Luckily, when I did it, I ended up having all this, so I didn't have to go way down to the very depths again and explore. I collected a lot of stuff in this game, just in case I needed it later. And then before you are set to launch, there's one last thing that you must complete besides the launch sequence, and that is that you have to send back something on the planet. This thing can be picked up by other players. I found 2 of these while I was playing, and you can put anything that you want inside of this time capsule. Anybody can find it who's currently playing the game, and once they find it, they get the stuff that you put in there. This could be anything from food, medkits, equipment, whatever you want. You can also leave a message in it. And then you launch yourself into space. And that ends Subnautica. So when I was playing through Subnautica, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was genuinely fun. It was great that you could explore so much, find so many different things, find so many unique creatures, unique biomes, all sorts of really cool looking alien stuff. I really like that stuff. I love exploration games, and I love any game that the community can also join into. And it was a lot of fun. It also did tension extremely well. The music is excellent in this game. I really love the music. I really love the creature design. Some of the creatures are absolutely terrifying. The dragon freaked me. I didn't think there was going to be a dragon. I never seen that one before. I knew about the Reaper Leviathan, and the Ghost Reaper I was kind of aware of, but not really. Dragon was something that I wasn't aware of at all. And I loved being able to build these large bases. I made like a really big base at the kind of starting area. I mean, if you look up like Subnautica base builds, people can build these immaculate, gigantic, really cool looking structures with so much stuff in them. They're not entirely necessary. You don't have to build these giant structures. You don't have to go all out with them, but there's something that you can do, and there's something that you can continue towards if you would like to keep playing the game. There's an unlimited amount of resources in this game. You just have to wait for them to spawn back. So if you want to build bases in every single biome, you can. You can build them however you'd like. And I think that that's really cool about the game. I can see why so many people really love it. This was a really cool game, and I would recommend checking it out if you haven't already, or if you're into space exploration, if you're into exploration in general, if you're into survival games. I think it's a great addition. I plan on doing another video like this with Subnautica Below Zero, and I might make this a regular series on the channel. Once we play through, or once we stream through a certain game, do some sort of review like this. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are, both on Subnautica and this type of video. If you guys would like to see more of it, I'm more than happy to do it, because this is really fun. I enjoy talking about these kind of awesome experiences. Thank you guys so very much for watching this video, and special thanks to the supporters of this channel. These are my members over here on YouTube, and my patrons over on Patreon. They get early access to videos like this, and if you would like to be a part of it, you can. There are links down in the description. Be sure to check those out. Thanks everybody who does that. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.